the Anunnaki and the black and bald-headed ones. In the Enuma Elish, it is written, EZIZKUR shall sit aloft in the house of prayer. May the gods bring their presence before him, that from him they may receive their assignments. None can, without him, create artful works. 4 black-headed ones are among his creatures. Aside from him, no god knows the answer to their days, which would be an analogy for death. EZIZKUR appears to be the god of art. The name Mamu means art. None can, without him, create artful works. Mamu also means chaos, related to the sacrificial fires and the contents of the tablets. Are we not enlightened? En meaning Lord, or in the Emissal language, which is a softer speech generally used for goddesses, where it has the meaning flee, infect, or moo, all of which can be used to replace the word art, derived from mumu. Lighten, to become lighter in weight, pressure, or severity, which would be emissal, softer in speech. Are we not enlightened? The ancient Sumerians called themselves the Black-Headed People, and their land, in cuneiform script, was simply named the Land, or the Land of the Black-Headed People. And in the biblical book of Genesis, summer is known as Shinar, Sin-Ar, meaning praise and glory to Lord Zu. The name Sin-Ar occurs 8 times in the Hebrew Bible, in which it refers to Babylonia. In the Old and New Testament, Sin, meaning Lord Zu, is mentioned 1,363 times. Remember, En meaning Mamu, or Lord, to infect, alternatively meaning Mamu, Zu, the word and the voice. Logically, I agree that the people of this region were of a darker skin tone, but this is related to the gods, not people, by saying that the term belongs to the black-headed people would be a subtle form of demonization. Mentally, I split these beliefs asunder. Because the people could not read or write, it was forbidden. Therefore, it was the nobility who were the ones invoking demons. And this was not in public view until Babylonian times. Babylonian meaning praising Lord Zu. So the Babylonian script, which was transferred into the Greek Septuagint, was a text praising Lord Zu. And that would be why the Sumerian script was contained in the Babylonian Enuma Elish. Sumerian, meaning the wisdom of bitter oppression from heaven, the Zu of Marduk, of the heavens, the Sumerian symbol of An, the 8-pointed star. And remember, the name Sin-Ar occurs 8 times in the Hebrew Bible, which would be the 4 black-headed and bald-headed ones. An means star, heaven, god, or eagle. The mighty eagle. I would say that this was the sign for the black and bald-headed ones, and, ironically, the symbol of sin, the moon, the white one, and this would be the white devil, used later to demonize the white race. And it would mean the bad Udug and the good Udug. From the darkness came light, but first there was darkness, and then there was light. The cultures are reformed to follow suit, and clearly the sin of the fathers is passed down to the people. They would be the good Udug and the bad Udug, a legion who can't be told apart, who would align with the Leviathan and Ziz, the legendary bird of prey, who will be served at the end times, again with a double meaning. The meaning of EZIZKUR. E, house, household, temple, plot of land. Siz, found in Ottoman Turkish, from proto-Turkic and sur, meaning less, similar to Dumu. The minor, lesser, the child, the minor, lesser spirit. The god Marduk is also known as Sur. Sur meaning knight. Who do they work for? Certainly not Britain. The word has a Sumerian root. Sur, density, dense, weak or feverish, to be full in order to grow weak. America. Plus sweat. You can't say sir without referring to zoo. No, Mr. Halloran, it is not sweat. Sweat, fragrance. The adjectives, scented, perfumed, fragrant. In relation to death, mourning. Ire, meaning tears, lamentation, prayer, complaint, to weep. To be full, to grow weak with tears. Using the lamentation prayer. And quite fittingly, Sir, Sarah, to spin, twine, yarn, or thread, to roll up, in a repetitive motion in order to flow. Marduk, meaning bitter oppression, would be the cause of tears in all lands, the god of the four quarters, the Ukar, Lugal Ukar, referred to the 6 ornaments, which are interchangeable with 6 figures of speech. And the word size, Siz, also means 6. The variant Sur is related to a flood basin, the foundation pit, the location of the guardians of the Underworld. Uka also meaning Ravenger, and super violent. The letter Z became an S. Psi, Siz is Ziz, the Mothman. Akkadian, Shah Azu, meaning moth. Anazus, meaning insect. Ziz, meaning emmer, wheat, and that would be why Marduk is the god of the harvest and abundance. Reduplicated as Z. Aha! The lesser spirit, the Z from Dumuzi. The root is derived from a crop-devouring insect. You see, all of these meanings combine, creating an artful work, the image of it, which has been compartmentalized, divided, split asunder. Biblically, it would be the locust from the pit. The Ziz in Hebrew is a giant griffin-like bird found in Jewish mythology, said to be large enough to be able to block out the sun. In Egypt, the sun god hides behind the scarab beetle. There is nothing to see here. There is no connection to Hebrew, but clearly there is. This should not stain the Jewish people, by the way. The king will transfer the name of Zu, wisdom. Split the child asunder, so we can see who the real mother is. There is only one mention of Ziz in the Bible, the one. I know all the birds of the mountain, and Ziz Shader is mine. In Psalms 80, 13, 14, the boar from the forest ravages it. And of course, these are often lost in translation from the Hebrew, which is derived from the Sumerian Akkadian, being referred to in most English translations as ambiguous beasts, and referred to as neither singular nor avian. The Udug, later known in Sumerian as Utuku, who were an ambiguous class of demons from ancient Mesopotamian mythology, who were sometimes thought of as good and sometimes evil. In the exorcism rituals, the good Udug is sometimes invoked against the evil Udug, but they can't be told apart. Sorry. The Ziz. We are told these two will be served at the end times. Leviathan is the king of the fishes, and Ziz is appointed to rule over the birds. The Apkallu and their monstrous alter egos. Uka, the Siz, 6. The first and the last would be the king. Kur meaning underworld, mound or mountain. EZIZKUR, the house of the locust pit, who are to be served in the end times, which has a double meaning, one for the people and one for nobility.